107.5 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
There's something going on. There's some spirit.
It's bigger than us. Charlie and Baylor. Let's do it for them.
That's when you knew we're meant to win.
Back to back for the Garden in Black.
Let me tell you a story about how two brave boys taught a team to never give up.
Now I'll spread my wings and I will fly.
An SEC storied film, In Spirit, Wednesday, May 14th at 7 p.m. on SEC Network.
Welcome back in. Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs. Tyler, West, and Chris along with you. That was the commercial that aired the other day to promote In Spirit, the SEC Network special that will celebrate the back-to-back national championship Gamecock baseball teams from a little over a decade ago. Joining us now on Love Chevrolet phone line, somebody that was not only on both those teams, but is also producing this piece for the SEC Network, Jake Williams. Jake, first of all, appreciate your time with us this morning. Man, how excited are you this thing's going to be airing next week?
Oh, guys, well, first of all, thank you for having me on. It's definitely a treat to be on, and couldn't be more thrilled for the release. It's been a very long time coming. Super excited for what's coming for all the Gamecock people here.
Hey, Jake, it's Wes. Appreciate you hopping on, man. Excited for you, excited for your teammates as well that this story is being told. And can you elaborate on what you just said? Can you just take us back to maybe when this thing got started, kind of the journey to getting to the point of it being created and then released, and just kind of everything that's going on behind the scenes to get us to this point?
Yeah, absolutely. So, being a contributing member of these teams back in 2010 and 11, having lived these stories, having been a part of it so intricately, the teams go down as one of the greatest of all time, in a lot of eyes, the greatest of all time. And, I had kind of where the idea honestly spurred from was I had just really incredible perspectives from inside the team, videos of bus rides, locker rooms, hotel trips, different stuff that was just a really, really cool look inside this team that you wouldn't really be able to see in other ways. From there, about 5 or 6 years had gone by and no one had told our story yet. Obviously, again, being one of the great stories of college baseball, I knew someone was going to tell that story. So I kind of took it upon myself at that point to see if I could be the one to do it. I studied journalism and photography, videography, and different art forms in school. This is kind of toward my calling anyway, so I thought it'd be the perfect match. Sure enough, it was. I got Ray, Coach Tanner, and the university involved right away. They were incredible in getting this project sort of greenlit with me, the necessary resources to kind of kick it up off the ground. But basically from there, they said, here you go. We helped you kick it off. Now you take it from here. And as I said, it's been now a very long time coming of hard trials of a first-time filmmaker trying to get this to the right home. But finally, it found itself to its natural home in the SEC Network and ESPN. So couldn't be more thrilled.
Jake, it's Chris. Again, thanks for joining us, man. Really looking forward.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing this. And without spoiling it, obviously, I think we know some of the plays and some of the storylines and some of the things that are going to be covered. But tell us, can you give us maybe a little sneak peek at maybe some of the other things that have not been told before, have not been seen, that fans who watch this may be able to take a look at when they tune in?
Yes, absolutely. So, it's going to have all the great baseball stuff, all the juice, all that stuff that made these one of those great college teams ever. Sure enough, the crazy, miraculous plays, getting out of seemingly impossible jams over and over and over again throughout both of those years. It's going to have all that. So that's going to be great to any sport's eye. Now, from there, it kind of takes on a real heart of its own and showcasing how really, whether it's baseball or any sport, how much a team can really impact families, schools, towns, cities even, And what happened, and not to give too much away, is but two little boys, who are battling a severe cancer. A lot of the Gamecock Nation will remember him and his story a little bit, but we've brought it back to life and shown all the amazing details that really went on to make this an incredibly special run. That just it really, you hear all the time, how can you not be romantic about baseball, that kind of stuff. It has all that kind of stuff of how powerful, just not just winning championships, but how it can bring groups, families, some comfort, joys, and hopes when, there's times when these people don't have it at all and they're searching for it, and it can be offered in different ways. So it's really powerful to hear the ways that these teams impacted not just these two families, but thousands of others probably across the state. Heard so many different stories of families impacted, and how, decades and decades long Gamecocks were waiting for these championships and finally got it, and the relief that followed.
Talking to former Gamecock baseball player and producer for In Spirit, which comes out next Wednesday on the SEC Network at 7 o'clock, celebrating those two national championship baseball teams. You kind of mentioned going back through some of that footage you had of yourself and your teammates from back in the day. Was there anything that surprised you or things that you had forgotten about as you were going through all this stuff and kind of piecing this story together?
Well, I think that's been one of the greatest thrills for me, being the producer, and again, this has been basically my baby, this project, the whole time, and just keeping it alive. But again, one of the funnest parts has been going through and discovering these stories, these things that even myself, even a lot of guys on the team, we didn't even know the depths of what was happening around us. We were more so concerned of how to succeed on the field. While, then it's amazing to uncover so much that has happened, so many different stories. It's been truly a treat. So many, we talk about it, we're sitting in the dugout with Charlie Peters being our bat boy. We all kind of know his story, but then now for myself to really unravel a decade and a half worth of relationships, how closely knit the Tanners got with these families, how much it really mattered to hear these mothers and fathers talk about what these teams offered for their children. It's been truly special. Of course, there's been some amazingly fun stuff, some wild tales, just different fun things. Like I could first think of Scott Wingo talking about, someone told him they named his horse after him. Someone wrote a song about the team, just some very fun, different stuff all throughout. There's going to be some comedy in the show. There's going to be some pulling at your heartstrings for sure, laughter. There's going to be all kinds of good emotion coming through.
Jake, I've got CWS Finals, Game 1 against Florida, 2011, bottom of the 9th and bottom of the 10th pulled up on YouTube right now. So you know where this is going. Let's talk about your play in the 10th. Now just like a famous play in Gamecock lore to go along with the Houdini act from the infield in the 9th inning of that game. What were you thinking as what could have been the game-winning hit for Florida is rolling your way in left field, and you come up firing? Did you know you were going to throw him out? What was going through your mind at that moment other than just execute?
I appreciate you bringing this up. It's one of my favorites, obviously. It's a rare thing to get an opportunity for an assist in an outfield. It just truly is. I mean, often you can go, a month and not even have a shot at all. I think across our outfield board, most of the guys had 1, 2, maybe 3 assists. I mean, across a whole season, it's kind of rare to even get an assist. Now, across our outfield, notoriously, we had some strong arms out there. We had Jackie Bradley, who obviously everyone knows could throw it out of the ballpark. We had Evan Marzilli and a few others that could just really play. But in that moment, here we find myself in the bottom of the 10th. Scott Wingo had just gotten us through in the 9th, some crazy plays. Scott and myself, we actually grew up together, so I've watched Scott make those kind of plays my whole life, which is just a fun little side note. But now here we are back in the 10th. Now it's kind of there's what else is going to happen. We've found ourselves out of jam after jam after jam, from game after game. Here's another one. So, we get a guy on second. one of the best hitters in the country steps up, Mike Zunino, who was a longtime big leaguer. He, he had been pretty cold all that College World Series, so there was a feeling that something was about to happen, and I think everyone knew that. Myself, I've talked about this feeling I had that came over of sort of a knowing that something was about to happen to me. And it's not necessarily a scared or a nervous thing. It's more of a calming sensation of, okay, this is coming to you. Just get ready. Get yourself ready. So I had one of those strange premonitions that this ball just might be hit to you. Sure enough, it was. And we were able to make one of those plays that shows the true milliseconds of the game, the true tiny, tiny details, to save the game. Where, again, you got to save that game in that situation. Notoriously, Game 1 winners go on to win the whole World Series. So Game 1 is essential. And for me, it was just such a thrill to be able to make that throw and that play. And, again, it was kind of my turn at that point. Every guy throughout that whole series had done different things, and that was basically my turn to step in and do my part.
Well, Jake, we know that's going to be a featured part of the documentary for sure. Can't wait to see it all coming up next week, and I know you're going to be very proud to see this thing finally air and let the nation in on the story that was those two Gamecock National Championship teams.
Yes, thank you, guys. Yeah, we actually just celebrated this weekend. We had a premiere at the Long Football Operations Center on campus, and went over to the baseball games as well. And Coach Tanner and his foundation gave some money to both hospitals that the boys had cancer with. So we had a real great time. There was about 200 people at the premiere. We're going to be doing another premiere in Greenville this weekend, May 10th. If anybody's in Greenville that hears this, please come out. It'll be 1 p.m. at Camelot Cinemas. But other than that, it's going to be just a week and month of celebrating, bringing back, the glory of these teams, getting a spark for the current baseball team. As we all know, they need it right now. They got to remember the glory that lives within them. This is where they come from. So this is going to be a proper reminder of, their legacies, what was happened, and it means so much still to so many. So it's been a true honor for me.
Absolutely. Appreciate your time, Jake, and we'll be checking with you down the line, I'm sure.
Yes, thank you guys for your time. I look forward to seeing more, and you guys do amazing work, so thank you. Please continue.
Absolutely. Jake Williams, again, in spirit airing next week on the SEC Network. It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs on the Game.